Hello and good morning and happy Tuesday 10 at 10. I am your host, Richard Charpentier, and we will be discussing questions that we get every week and try our best within 10 minutes to answer all of your questions. So, without wasting any time, here is the first question. Someone asking about calcium propionate, and is this best to add to the dry ingredients or dissolve the calcium propionate in water? What are your recommendations? Excellent questions. So in order to understand how to use calcium propionate the proper way or the best way, usually you can put it all the way with the dry because it's water soluble, meaning it's easily dissolvable in water. So bread doughs contain a lot of water where you shouldn't have a problem. But if you were to use it per se in a pie crust where it's a lot of fat, not a lot of water, it would be best and recommended to dissolve in a small portion of water and putting it back in. Anyhow, I think if you can, if you have the time to dissolve it in water, it'll be better distributed. At least you know it's uniform. Because once you put it on top of your dry, let's say you mix it and you put some oil and you put a calper on it, you might encapsulate it and basically delay the the solubility and therefore maybe not get full efficiency. So if you know it's better and if you can do it, just do it. But great question. Moving on to our second question. Someone wants to know how to extend pita breads and the shelf life of baguettes. Well, pita breads and baguettes, a baguette typically is 24-hour shelf life. It's short. It's made, consumed within 24 hours and done. Once you see baguettes or pita breads with longer shelf life, you can do it the old school way where you do using sourdoughs, long fermentation, and sort of the proper packaging. But in order to just extend that, you can also use enzymes and modify your formulation. Use certain moto and dye to soften the crumb over time. But not knowing the details, whether or not it's ambient or it's refrigerated or frozen, I'm assuming it's ambient. So your best bet is, if you need help with this one, I would say go through the BAKERpedia website on resources. You can get a consultant. You can get 30 minutes and get a consultant to one-on-one on a video conference, and you'll get, attention to your problems and maybe guided. Check it out. It's a lot of fun and easy resources for anybody out there. But two things, enzymes and changing, not knowing how long of a shelf life, will change the way you're fermenting. So those sort of would be my two recommendations. Hopefully it helps you. And moving on to the next question. So next question, is this possible to make burger buns without the use of preservatives or long fermentation like a sourdough process? Trying to extend the shelf life to 10 days and keep a fresh texture? That's a great question. Now I know it's basically ambient, 10 days, and they're asking what are different things you can do. But right here, they want to know without preservative or long fermentation of sourdough process. So you can do that, and you can use some fermented corn products or fermented wheat products to put some acids, natural acids, back into your formula, which will help you extend the shelf life a little longer. You have to also see, for in your case, I would set up my process, maybe with a brew system, find a portion and find the right proportion and get the proportion of brew you want to add per batch, and you have to have the proper mixer. So for you in your case, it's not just an ingredients. I would say the process is to be done in such a way where you can do it and get a shelf life of 10 days, if maybe more. So, and again, that's something I like I said to the previous question, go to BAKERpedia, get on their resources, get a consultant to help you. Like I said, 30 minutes or an hour, it's worth all pennies that you would spend doing that. Then you're going to get a formula that's going to last longer. Your consumers, you're going to increase volume. So highly recommend that. But yeah, your process can be done again, brew system, rebalancing your formulation, and maybe the proper packaging, and you'll be there in no time. And so that's my recommendation. Next question. Someone wants to know the secret ingredient that makes soft and golden shell found on the top of buns like Martin's potato roll. Well, there is a secret. They don't put anything. It has to do with the formula and the way it's balanced, called Maillard reaction. Check it out. Dr. Lin talks about it, about browning and Maillard reaction. So when the enzymes and the reducing sugar are reacting to get that nice brown. And if you have the proper hydration, the proper mix time, the proper proof time, and the right bake time, you're going to get a beautiful foxy red golden color going in and going out. That means you're properly fermented, you have the proper pH, and if you start adding egg wash or protein washes, that will give you a nice sheen. But you're talking about these natural, it's based on the formulation, and it's balancing sugars, the proper sugar, the proper protein and the proper reducing sugar will create that nice Maillard reaction, that nice browning. All right, so hopefully it helps, and reach out to us if you want to know a little more, but that's quite simple. Another question that says how to make the perfect commercial burger bun and how to increase its shelf life, and need help, need a recipe, please. In that case, again, I would love to, within it's 10 minutes, 10 at 10. So we're trying to condense and go very fast and move through it. And I would love to be discussing for 10 minutes and hey, the formula, but go and reach out to me. I'd love to, detail per detail, and we'll lay it out with what formula to use, how to mix it, how to hydrate it, and how to get a perfect commercial bun that's going to be nice and soft and get the volume. But I would do it. But a great question. Last question, but not least, the how to make the French palmier cookies last 6 months. Palmier cookies are the puff pastry when you layer puff pastry with some sugar and it's cut like a heart, almost like a pretzel, and it expands and it's crunchy and flaky. So how they do it? They do it because they have very low moisture, same as a cookie, and low water activity as a product. It's dry, almost like a cracker. And the reason why they last 6 months without any preservative, because then they're using good packaging. Usually it's going to be wrapped up in a type of aluminum, that seals the light, that light won't be able to penetrate. It's in the box. They get 6 months to a year to get that crispiness. It's a product, again, it's product development, maintaining the proper, data point, the analytical data point, water activity, moisture is, make sure that the fat you're using is stable as well. You're not going to oxidize, and when you'll get, some rancid notes of your product. But all those things can be worked through, how to build a formula to be a commercial formula with a long shelf life. We at BAKERpedia, like I've said to all the previous questionnaires, we can do that. You can go to BAKERpedia on a Baker resources and look for a consultant to help you with your problem. 30 minutes, an hour, one day. we're there to support you in your quest to become better. So thank you again for watching, and you have a great rest of your day and happy baking, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.